in the world of forex, relatively light day. Um, we had Christine Lagarde speaking earlier today. She was talking about um, the euro. She was talking about a little bit about Brexit, the future of the ECB, where they plan to go, and then monetary policy. So it wasn't stuff that we hadn't already heard before. Um, but going through for the rest of this week, it's going to be a pretty interesting week going forward because we have some pretty cool stuff going on. All right, tomorrow we have consumer confidence numbers coming out in the morning, and then it is not on here because I don't know who actually goes through and edits and puts events into this calendar, but we have a presidential debate tomorrow night. So when the markets um, when the markets close tomorrow, please still be aware of your USD pairs. Please be aware of US 30, gold, all those things. Like just be aware of them because when this presidential debate is going on, markets move. Markets move during these debates because people are live tweeting, people are doing live polls, and at the end of the debate, they ABC, CNBC, Fox, they're going to have polls. Who did best? Um, who spoke the best about certain policies? They're going to have all of these polls going on after this debate, and the markets are going to be reacting, even though it's not going to be a full-blown New York like volatility. These are Asian markets and pre-London markets reacting to these things. And you have to remember that because of where we are right now with policy with the UK and with Europe, London's going to have a field day with this information. Um, Asian markets are going to have a field day, obviously, because we're having issues with China, tariffs, um, corporations suing each other, governments suing each other over, TikTok and WeChat, Chinese technology. Trump's still upset over the coronavirus. Um, and the U.S. is still wanting China to pay for pretty much the way they explain it of infecting the whole world. So these markets are going to react to all of these things happening tomorrow night. With that being said, um, pay attention. And then going into Wednesday, pay attention because then New York is going to get a chance to respond to all these things. Um, During London session, we're going to get an economic barometer from the Swiss franc, just talking a little bit about their economic forecast and their outlook. Christine Lagarde is going to be speaking again Wednesday morning. And I kind of glazed over that because I want to get back to the heart of the U.S. news because that's where we're really sitting this week, a lot of U.S. news. Because this is also NFP week, which I'll get to on Friday. That news from tomorrow night with the debate is going to carry over into Wednesday. We get our preliminary job number coming out before the market opens. We get our final GDP number coming out before the market opens. The market is going to open and start reacting to, I should say, retail traders are going to get a chance to start reacting to the debate from Tuesday night. And then we get Chicago PMI numbers and pending home sales. So what is this telling you? That when before the market even opens, and remember I've told you guys before, and I want you guys to always remember this, even though you might go into E-Trade or TD Ameritrade or whatever platform you use for stocks, you can't physically trade stocks unless your account is approved for it before 9:30 in the morning. Pre-trading technically starts at 7:30. So institutions, hedge funds, those people who have access to pre-market trading, they're already trading this market. They're already trading this news that's coming out pre-market. So when you're looking at US 30, that's why you see a lot of volatilities, because those people are already trading. Those people are going to get a chance to start reacting, selling things, buying things before retail traders even get a chance to. Then at 9:30, retail traders are going to get a chance to get in the market and get their share or sell off and take money off the table. But then this news right here is coming out also. So that period of time is going to be super news heavy. There's going to be a lot of emotion in the market, because whenever you turn on the news Wednesday morning, that's the first thing everybody is going to be talking about on Wednesday is the presidential debate. How was the debate? What did they talk about? Who stumbled? Who did this? Facial expressions, body language. They're going to be talking about all of those things. And if you don't believe me, go to YouTube and look up the last presidential debate that they had back in 2016 and look at how they picked it apart the next day. The media is going to sensationalize this and get people riled up. There's going to be a lot of emotion in the market on Wednesday, and that is the day when we get our preliminary job numbers. So pay attention. Then going into Thursday, Thursday's no better. I have a ton of news coming out on Thursday. Everybody's still going to be talking about the presidential debate on Thursday and for the rest of the week. So don't think it's going away. It's still going to be there. Trump is still going to be having his evening sessions about the coronavirus, and the task force is still going to be talking. So there are chances for questions to come up about the debate, questions that journalists, they just want to push his buttons about something. And he could possibly just tweet anything. So for the rest of the week after the debate, just keep your eyes open. But Thursday, keep your eyes open for debate stuff. We have personal spending. Unemployment claims are the biggest thing, along with ISM manufacturing numbers. So those are the biggest things that we're going to be looking at on Thursday. And then Friday is going to be NFP. I can guarantee you that because this is a week where we've had a presidential debate, if job numbers are good on Friday, we're going to get a tweet about it on Friday that, job numbers have rebounded to single digits after being double digits. We're in a V, K, U, throw your arms up in the air and make a shake type recovery. And it's all because of Trump's great leadership and ability to turn around an economy. We're going to hear that on Friday if the job numbers are good. So NFP, if you haven't been around for NFP, we look at the unemployment rate, we look at the employment change, and we look at average hourly earnings. So all of these things, because we are now at the point of the year where a lot of the effects and a lot of the policies put into place by the Fed, by the government stimulus, all of those things should have taken effect by now. PPP should have kicked in for a lot of people. And now we should be able to see some of the effects of those things kicking in. Obviously, it is the goal of the current administration to have unemployment stay in the single digits between now and the election. We have like 5 weeks. Seemed like we were talking about months not too long ago, but we're 5 weeks away from the election. And this number has to stay in the single digits for unemployment rate. For the employment change, this number has to consistently be below 1 million people. Or I'm sorry, because I'm thinking about unemployment claims. The employment change, we're consistently wanting this number to grow. We're consistently wanting employment change numbers to grow, and we're consistently wanting the average hourly earnings to grow. The number that I started talking about is this one here. We consistently want unemployment claims to be below 1 million, and the last time we're expecting that unemployment claims are still going to be relatively low because there again, we're getting people back to work. Um, there are actually jobs and corporations that are expanding. Um, Part of this, according to the current administration, is because they have been tough on companies who have been doing a lot of business with China and Asian countries, and they've been trying to encourage them to bring business back to the US, and that is the reason why we're seeing job numbers be the way that they are, because we're making America more homegrown. So that is the outlook for the week. The debate is going to be the main theme tomorrow. Preliminary job numbers are going to be the main thing on Wednesday, in addition to the follow-up and some of these minor things. I'm calling them minor, but all of these things are going to get talked about um, in the news on Wednesday. Thursday, definitely we're talking about this unemployment claims number, and we're talking about ISM manufacturing. And then on Friday, we're talking about the NFP numbers. So even though I didn't cover everything on this Forex Factory calendar, I want to make sure that you guys get the gist of what's happening here. It's our economy, it's our news cycle that's going to have the biggest news coming out this week. We live here. We're amidst in the middle of our economy. So everything that we see, everything, as far as most of the notifications, all those things are coming from our economy, and we have so much news. We're in a presidential election year. Most other countries had their election year already, or it's coming up next year. All eyes are on us. Around the world, all eyes are on us, looking to see what's going to happen with our election. There's already been over 1 million people that have already voted. So if you haven't voted, or if you're going to vote, plan it now. um, Everybody's looking at us again. Everybody's looking at us. I've watched TV now in about 4 or 5 different languages, and people are really talking about our election this year because of Trump's policies. Some of these policies are helping other countries. Some of them are hurting other countries. Some other countries. So everybody wants to know what's going to happen, because these countries that Trump has been tough on, Biden might be lenient towards. And if Trump is reelected, he's going to continue to be hard on some of these countries and their policies. Or that's what the thinking is. And then, some of these markets where the currency hasn't fared too well, like Turkey and Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, some of those emerging markets, they're going to sweat a little bit. Not going to talk about it a whole lot here. I'll post it for you guys because it is definitely going to come up tomorrow night. The platinum package, or the platinum the platinum plan that Trump has for African Americans. If you haven't seen it, haven't read the whole thing, I'll post the flyer, because it's like if you were to print it, it would print like on an 8x14 or 8x16 sheet of paper. It's long, but it's a platinum plan he's put forth to help minorities. That is going to be a topic that they are going to talk about on tomorrow night. That, taxes, guns, abortion, because of the Supreme Court nominee, and the criminal justice system, and education. Those are always things that are like sticking points during a presidential election. The person who writes the questions and the person who goes through and edits the questions they typically pick questions from these topics. So it's like a list of topics, economic issues, social values, ethics, those types of things. They ask those questions. They ask the hard-hitting questions, the questions that stick. Um, so pay attention to that Thursday night. Not so much that it's going to move the market, but because it's just going to affect your life. So that is all that I have for you guys. My mouth is kind of dry. All right. So if you guys have any questions about anything, I'm going to let you guys put your questions in the chat. If you guys can wait until the end, you can ask me, and we can kind of have a little discussion if you want to when Mr. Levels is done. But I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. Levels get started. Like I said, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat or you can wait until the end. But I'll let you go ahead and get started, Mr. Levels.